See, good morning to all of you. Only 26 students have entered right now, including myself. So totally there are 25 students. So sometimes you should unmute and try to ask some questions and all. So here in my today's class, what I am planning to do, you observe here. Today my plan is to, what are the different types of indeterminacies are there? First of all, what is indeterminacy? Static and kinematic. I'm not going to tell you anything about kinematic today. I'll concentrate only on analysis of determinate structure means what. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you concentrate here because initial 2-3 hours are very important. Concentrate. Any doubts are there, you can ask me here only, or you can call me also. My mobile is here only. You can call me, and for any doubts are there while whenever this is on here, whenever online classes are running, that time also you can call, no problem. Because I will not be looking at the chat box every now and then. You can directly call that time and ask me to repeat anything or revise. There is no problem. Now here, let us start with the basics here. Before I start, this indeterminacy means what? You can see the syllabus as you can see here. This side is syllabus is there. This side the starting portion is there. On one side you can see the syllabus. If I try to zoom it, I think the letters are not clearly visible right now. These alphabets are visible or no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
so that is you don't worry about that because it is just a syllabus. It is in that syllabus. I wanted to focus on the name of the subject, analysis of a determinate structure. Observe here. First, let us start with what is analysis. Analysis, okay, means what? You see here. I'm drawing one beam here. Can you see the what I'm doing here?
Yes, sir.
Can you see this beam that I'm drawing?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible to you, all of you? Is it
Yes,
visible?
sir.
Yes, sir.
If it is not visible, I'll just I'll do it like this. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So some loads I'll keep here. Just observe this figure. So to start with, this is a beam subjected to some loading. Okay, there can be point loads or uniformly distributed loads or uniformly varying loads. So uniformly varying loads are trapezoidal or triangular. So uniformly varying loads are, they can be trapezoidal or triangular loads will be there. That will be taken up wherever they are required. But here I am trying to start with the very basic information here. Okay. Now, if I say this one, if I say that analyze this beam, analysis of determinate structures, I am trying to tell you what is analysis means what. Then I'll go to determinate. You try to understand the subject name itself first properly, then remaining things. So if I say analyze this beam, means what we are doing, we are trying to find out the unknown forces which are keeping the system in equilibrium. Always you should understand, you should assume that the system is not disturbed, it is in equilibrium. There is no rotation or translation of a body. Body is not moving, body is not rotating. which means the system is in equilibrium. It means when there are two forces, let us say W1 and W2, are acting on a beam. If the beam has to be in equilibrium, these two forces at the supports will produce the forces in such a way that the system is kept in equilibrium. Okay, so we are going to use it means analysis means find out the unknown forces using the conditions of equilibrium. So when I use the conditions of equilibrium to find out the unknown forces, it is a determinate structure. What is a determinate structure? In a determinate structure, it is possible for me to analyze the beam completely using the three conditions of equilibrium. It means if there are three unknowns, three conditions of equilibrium are used to find out those unknowns. See, this is what we call it as a determinate structure. In a determinate structure, the main thing is, in a determinate structure, conditions of equilibrium are sufficient to solve the problem completely. To analyze the problem completely, conditions of equilibrium are sufficient. Such a beam or such a structure, we call it as a determinate structure. Is it clear, this one? Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So, is it clear what is the meaning of a determinate structure? A structure in which the problem can be analyzed or the unknown forces can be calculated using the conditions of equilibrium. That is determinate structure. So here, now you can see here what we are doing here is, let us take a simple example like this. Here, W1 and W2 are acting. My job is to find out R1 and R2. Okay. Since the entire beam is subjected to only vertical forces, sigma h will be 0. There is no horizontal force on this body because forces are not inclined. All forces are vertical. So I'm going to use sigma v equal to 0. Before that, in order to find out R1 and R2, I should use sigma m equal to 0. What is the meaning of sigma m is equal to 0? Sigma m is equal to 0 means either there are no moments on the body or the moments are balancing each other. Sigma m is equal to 0 means there will be two conclusions. One is the body is not subjected to any forces only. So a sigma m equal to 0. Or even if the body is subjected to forces, anti-clockwise moments and clockwise moments are balancing each other. Algebraic sum of moments about any point is 0. That is why the body is not rotating. If sigma m is not equal to 0 means the body should rotate. Okay. If sigma v is not equal to 0 means what? The body should move in vertical direction. If sigma h is not equal to 0 means the body should move in the horizontal direction. So this is a very basic information which you have studied long back. That is, in a determinate structure, conditions of equilibrium are sufficient to analyze the structure completely. All unknown forces can be calculated using the conditions of equilibrium. It means not only reactions, it means you can find out the bending moments, you can find out the shear forces also. You can find the reactions, you can find shear forces at all the points, you can find bending moment at all the points along the length of the beam. So this can be done using the just conditions of equilibrium. If the conditions of equilibrium are not sufficient to analyze the problem completely, it is called as indeterminate structure. Is it clear what I'm telling? Is it clear or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in indeterminate structure, conditions of equilibrium are insufficient to analyze the structure completely. Again, I'm repeating, analysis is all about finding the unknown reactions, moments, and forces. You're finding shear force, you're finding bending moment, you're finding the reactions, you're finding the deflections, you're finding slopes, whatever it is. All these are unknowns. To start with the problem, these are unknowns, but you're going to use some conditions. Based on that conditions, we can find all these unknowns. Okay, this is what we call it as determinate and indeterminate structures. Okay, so coming back to, so this is how you can define it. Now you can see this. Let's try to understand what is the meaning of indeterminacy. I told you what is an indeterminate structure, what is a determinate structure. Now, what is the meaning of indeterminacy? For this one, observe here, what I'll be doing is, if a beam has a support, one is hinged, one is roller. Try to understand here, try to understand. One support is on hinges, another support is on roller. Okay, this is a beam. This is one support. This is one more support. Okay, just observe this one here. I will just draw in this way. So these are the supports here. Okay, so support A is on hinges, hinged end. Do you know what is a hinged end means? Can you understand hinged end in real life? Practically, can you give me one example where hinges are used? What will happen if the end is hinged? Try to answer, otherwise I'll proceed further. You try to answer this one. When do you call a, what is the concept of a hinged end means what? Try to answer this one.
Fixed.
Somebody can try. Somebody can try to answer it. What do you mean by a hinged end? How many unknowns are there, and on what basis you can say what there those many unknowns are there? Anybody can try. So you look at the door only. Look at the door. I cannot move the door horizontally or vertically, but I can rotate it. Are you getting my point? If you apply a moment, the door rotates. You can rotate the door, but you cannot move the door horizontally or vertically. So what is the meaning of this? It means it has two, it will produce two reactions. If you try to move it horizontally, it will resist. So H is one unknown there, because if you try to move horizontally, the door will resist. If you try to move it vertically, again it will resist, it will not permit. Even if the obstructions are removed from top and bottom, and if you try to move the door vertically up or down, it will not permit because of the hinge. So hinge permits only the rotation. Hinge permits the rotation, whereas it will not permit horizontal and vertical movement. That is why for a hinge, two unknowns will be there. One is H, because it will resist the horizontal movement. One more is V, it is going to resist the vertical movement. So that is why whenever a hinge is shown, we normally show two unknowns, H and V. If the hinge is at A, it will be HA and VA. If the hinge is at B, it will be HB and VB. Is that clear to you? Is it clear what is the meaning of a hinge? Since it will not offer any resistance to rotation, so it will not resist any moment. That is why M will not come there. M will not be there because it will not resist it. It will rotate only. Once the moment is applied, it starts rotating. So M will not come. Similarly, a fixed end. Why fixed end has three unknowns? What is the reason? A fixed end
Sir,
has three unknowns. See here. This is a fixed end I am showing here. Okay. Now the question is, why I am showing M, V and H in case of a fixed end? The reason is whenever a beam or a body is fixed inside a wall or something like that, I cannot move the body vertically, I cannot move the body horizontally, I cannot rotate it. It will resist the rotation also. If you try to rotate the body about this end, it is going to resist. So that is why a fixed end has three unknowns, H, V as well as M, because it will not permit the rotation also. This is what is fixed end means. Now the roller end you can see, okay, already you know these things, but I'm trying to just repeat it. I'll draw the figure and I'll show it in the next class, but these are all basic things which I'm revising, that's all. In the case of a roller, observe here, depending upon the position of the roller, okay, what will happen is it will resist the force which is normal to the plane of roller. If the plane of roller is horizontal, it will resist only the vertical force. If you try to apply a horizontal force, it tries to move. How to understand this one? Take one wooden plank, place it on to volleyball. Take to volleyball, place the wooden plank and try to stand on this. You may be able to stand. You may be able to stand on that. A wooden plank is kept on to volleyball, then stand on it. It will resist. To some, it depends. Again, it depends upon so many other factors, but it will try to resist. Now, same experiment, you come out of that and try to move the wooden plank which is kept on volleyball horizontally. It starts moving only. This is the concept of your roller support. So roller support is going to resist the forces which are normal to its plane. Okay. So there is one unknown in case of a roller support. So any questions here? I'm just revising. Any questions are there in this revision? Anybody has got any question? A fixed end has three unknowns, A hinged end has two unknowns because it can rotate. Only H and V are possible. Roller has only one unknown, but still I can rotate a body about the roller. This concept you will come to know later on. Any questions here? Anybody has got any doubt in this case? All the boundary conditions are defined. Boundary condition can be fixed end, free end, simple support, rollers, hinges. Okay. So now let us see one example here. Just observe this one. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just observe this. Earlier I used this one. Observe here. Just observe this diagram and tell me, are you able to see this figure?
Yes, sir.
Just observe this. I'm trying to show you something which you already know it. Just observe this figure. Let us say this is W dash, this is W, this is small w. Okay. Now, my question is here, is the diagram clear to all of you? Can you see this diagram?
Yes, sir.
You want me to zoom it or it's clear?
It's clear, sir.
Okay. Now I'm asking you a very simple question here. This end A is hinged, B is on rollers. Is it a determinate structure or indeterminate structure?
Determinant structure, sir.
Okay, right. So it is determinate. The reason is there are three unknowns which can be calculated or determined using three conditions of equilibrium. Which are those three conditions? Sigma H, as you know it, sigma H equal to 0, sigma V equal to 0, sigma M equal to 0. So using the three conditions of equilibrium, I'm able to find out three unknowns. So the one, see, unknowns are at the support. Support has to resist these forces. These two supports will resist the forces and moments produced by these forces. It means since the system is in equilibrium, there is no resultant rotation or movement of this body. The body is not moving or it is not rotating. That is why sigma h is 0, sigma v is 0, and sigma m is 0. Sigma m is 0 means the body is not rotating. Sigma h is equal to 0 means the body is not moving in horizontal direction. Sigma v equal to 0 means the body is not moving in vertical direction. It means in simple words, there is no rotation, there is no translation. Okay. Now, this is a determinate structure because there are, observe here, just observe this figure. Two unknowns are here. Roller can produce only one unknown because it will not resist a horizontal force here. It starts moving. The body starts moving on a roller if a horizontal force is applied. So that what I was discussing here, just now you observe. These are the two rollers. If you stand on this, or if a force is applied here, it may deflect, but it will resist. But if I remove this and if I place a force like this horizontal, this wooden plank starts moving horizontally. It means roller will not resist a horizontal force. Out of these two, it is resisting only one force. That is why only one unknown is shown at roller. So ultimately, this is a determinate structure. Okay. Now I'll show you what is indeterminate. Carefully observe this one. In this class, I am going extremely slow actually. Now observe this. I'll draw one more figure. Now you look at this diagram. Okay. I'll draw somewhere here. Now what is this one? I'll come to the indeterminacy part now. Don't worry about the forces and all here. Just tell me whether this beam is or this structure in general is both are hinges. My question is whether this problem or this beam, is it determinate or indeterminate structure? Can anyone answer this one? This problem number 2 here, this is 1. My question is, second example, is it a determinate or indeterminate structure? Both end hinges. Have you solved this problem in strength of material or in first year? When both ends are hinges. Now observe here. This end is also hinge. B is also hinged end. Okay. Look at this problem 2. A and B are the supports. Some loads are acting. My problem here is whether it is a determinate or indeterminate structure. Now observe here. Since hinge is here, no, here hinge is there. There will be two unknowns. There will be two unknowns here, two unknowns here. Okay, because the forces are inclined. Forces are inclined here. I can show one more inclined force or like that because I want to include sigma h also. I want to include the horizontal resolution of forces also. That is why I am able to show one. There are two reactions at hinge point A. Again, there are two reactions at hinge point B. Totally, how many unknowns are there? Totally, how many unknowns are there? Somebody can answer this one. How many unknowns are there?
4.
Four unknowns are there. Okay.
4.
There are four unknowns. One is two reactions at hinge A, two more reactions at hinge B. So there are, observe here, why this is indeterminate, I'm trying to tell you now. There are four unknowns, whereas we have got only three equations of equilibrium. So this has become indeterminate structure. Is it clear this one? You can check your strength of material. Nowhere you have tried this problem. Nowhere in your strength of material this problem was given to you wherein both the supports are hinges. It is not possible to solve this problem using the conditions of equilibrium. Okay, that is why I am going to call this as an indeterminate structure. Of what order? Next question is, of what order? What is the order of this indeterminacy? It is indeterminate now. I'll tell you about the order and now just see here. Next one. Next, observe here. I'll show you one more diagram, third one. And you tell me whether this is one end is fixed, other end is hinged. Some forces are acting on this like this. Now you tell me whether this is the diagram number 3. This is diagram number 3rd diagram. Is it determinate or indeterminate structure?
Indeterminate.
This is indeterminate. Okay. The reason is there are 3 unknowns at the fixed end. I'll show you those unknowns here. One is fixed end can resist the horizontal movement. It can resist the vertical movement. It can resist the movement like this. So this is H, this is V, this is M. It means fixed end will not allow the body to rotate. It will not allow the body to move horizontally. It will not allow the body to move vertically. So there are 3 unknowns are there at the fixed end. Whereas at the hinged end, there will be one hinge will not permit the vertical movement of the body. It will not permit the horizontal movement of the body. So 1, 2, 3 unknowns here. 2 unknowns here. There are 5 unknowns are there. Whereas we have 3 conditions of equilibrium. Now you look at these 2 problems collectively. Both are indeterminate structures. Both are indeterminate structures. In problem number 2, there are 4 unknowns because both are hinges. 2 unknowns per hinge means 4 unknowns. 3 equations of equilibrium. 4 minus 3 equal to, you can see, number of unknowns minus number of, that is conditions of equilibrium. 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. Here, what is the value? Number of unknowns minus conditions of equilibrium. That is 3. It is 2 here. Okay. So this is a, let us go to the next example here. Only I'm trying to explain the indeterminacy means what. So the indeterminacy is of the order 1. Here the indeterminacy, both are indeterminate structures. In case of problem number 2, indeterminacy is 1. The order of indeterminacy is 1 because 4 minus 3. Now in case of problem number 3, this is also indeterminate structure because the number of unknowns are more than 3. More than 3. Once the unknowns are more than 3, conditions of equilibrium are not sufficient to solve the problem. So once you know that it is an indeterminate structure, you should tell the order of indeterminacy. So identify whether it is determinate or indeterminate structure, then try to find out by what order it is indeterminate. So this is 5 minus 3 equal to 2. So the indeterminacy of the order, this problem number 3, a beam which is fixed at one end, hinged at the other end, is an indeterminate structure of the order 2. It is an indeterminate structure of the order 2. Any questions here? Only 36 fellows are there. 35. So you have to type your USN only. Only 35 students are there today. Still 10 minutes is there. I'll go to one more example here. So order of indeterminacy, any doubts are there? Any doubts related to order of indeterminacy?
No, sir.
Okay,
three
I'll proceed.
equivalents.
I'll go to the next example. Any questions are there here?
Sir, three equivalents.
Hmm? There are three equations of equilibrium in sigma h equal to 0, sigma v equal to 0, sigma m equal to 0. These are the three conditions of equilibrium. So in order to check whether the beam is statically determinate or indeterminate, find out the number of unknowns minus 3. It will give you the order of indeterminacy. As I told you, problem number 3 is statically indeterminate structure of the order 2. Problem number 2 is statically indeterminate of the order 1, 4 minus 3. 4 unknowns minus 3 equations of equilibrium. Problem number 1 is determinate because 3 minus 3 equal to 0. The order of indeterminacy is 0 in case of problem number 1 because there are only 3 unknowns are there. 3 conditions of equilibrium are sufficient to analyze this problem completely. So any questions are there, you can ask now. I'll go to the next. Observe here. Fourth one is, just tell me what is the order and all here. Look at the problem and you can tell me whether it is, first of all, check it is whether it is a fourth one. I'll draw this figure now. So this is the diagram of, I'll show you here. I'll just call this as support A, this as support B. Okay. Now my question is both ends are fixed. Is it a determinate or indeterminate structure?
Indeterminate.
Okay. So this is indeterminate structure. Now what is the order of indeterminacy? How much is the order?
Three.
Hmm?
Three.
Three. Okay. Let me check it and let me clarify this one. This fixed end can resist horizontal, vertical. This is also horizontal. This is horizontal and vertical. I can call this as HAVA, HBVB plus. Since it is a fixed end, you can say it can resist the moment also. It will not permit the rotation also. So this is MA, this is MB. So look at this. Look at the support A. There are 3 unknowns: HA, VA, and MA. At B, there are again 3 unknowns: VB, HB, and MB. So totally there are 6 unknowns, which means it is an indeterminate structure. 6 unknowns are there. Now you need to calculate 6 unknowns, then only the analysis will be complete. Whereas there are only 3 conditions of equilibrium are there. Only 3 conditions of equilibrium are there. So it is indeterminate of the order 3. It is indeterminate of the order 3. So in this module 1, these are the problems that you are addressing. you have to find out the static and kinematic indeterminacies. A problem will be given to you. Usually it is question number 1B in the final question paper. Question number 1B or question number 1C also. Some 5 examples will be given. 5 diagrams will be given to you. Out of those 5 diagrams, you are supposed to find out all these degree of indeterminacy, static as well as kinematic. Again, static is subdivided. I'll tell you that later on. It is today I am going to the very basics. So after another 2 to 3 hours, you will be able to solve those problems, which are directly given in the final examination. As you can see here, even if it is a online classes, but the exam will be conducted offline. You please understand. All these recorded videos will be shared later on. Plus, notes will be given in PDF format. Somebody was requesting in the WhatsApp group and all. So you don't worry about that. every teacher is good only here. You cannot say this one is better than this one or something like that. Don't believe all those things. Whatever is your requirement, that will be fulfilled. But only thing is that, see, there are only 34 students. What I can do? Why I should give the video to those fellows, those who are not there in the class? Why should I help them? Once video is given, PDF is given, they become very even if I don't come to the class, anyway I'm getting the notes. If that is there, no, it is difficult. Everybody should come on this online classes. 36 are there. Attendance will be clearly noted here. So another 2 minutes of time is there. Only one more problem and I'll stop it. Now look at this one here. What I have done. Observe here. I started with a determinate structure here. See this one. This is a determinate structure because 3 unknowns, 3 conditions of equilibrium. 3 minus 3 is 0. So the indeterminacy is 0. Then second problem was related to one end. Both ends are hinged. Both ends are hinged. 2 unknowns at A, 2 unknowns at B. Totally 4 unknowns are there. Whereas we have only 3 conditions of equilibrium. So it is indeterminate. Because I cannot solve this problem completely using the conditions of equilibrium, I need one more condition, which is we call it as compatibility condition. It means only 3 conditions of equilibrium are not sufficient. I have to search for one more condition that you will learn in next semester, that is analysis of indeterminate structures. But here you should say by what order the beam is indeterminate. Order of indeterminacy. Here it is 1, 4 minus 3. So next was, third problem was one end fixed, the other end was hinged. So 5, 3 unknowns this side, 2 unknowns this side, 5 minus 3, 2. So 1, 2 and last one was 3. Like this I have given you. There can be n number of unknowns. N number of unknowns there. So here for your understanding purpose, these are sufficient. You can create any number of problems. One end fixed, one more is on rollers. One end is fixed, other is roller. You try that problem and tell me what is the order of indeterminacy. One end is fixed, the other end is on roller. You try that. So this is something about your indeterminacy means what. Now observe here. I'll come to this part now. So in the next class, we are going to start indeterminacy means what I told you. Static only I covered. Static, that is also basic, internal and external. This is not covered today. Kinematic I am not going to take up even in the next hour also. But in the problem of question paper, both we have to calculate. 3 to 4 diagrams will be given. For each of these diagrams, you have to find out the indeterminacy, static as well as kinematic. Simple formula is there for this. No need to worry about it. So you can see here indeterminacy, static, kinematic. Static is divided into internal and external. Okay, capital D will be used. Capital D will be used for indeterminacy. It is ds, dk, dsi, dse. Are you getting my point? Capital D is indeterminacy. Static means capital D, S, D, K, kinematic. DSI, because it is one of the static indeterminacies internal. So DSI, I'll write it in this board. Then I'll stop it. Just another 2 minutes are there. I'll just stop it. But what do I mean by that? Observe here. What are the notations I'm going to use? Observe this. D. It is indeterminacy is denoted by D. Static, DS. Kinematic, DK. In DS, subdivision is there. No, see this diagram. I'll go back. Then I'll continue here. See this. Static. Static has got internal, external, under static. So what I will do here, under static, what I will write? I'm going to write like this now. Just say D internal static, DSI. DS external, DSE. So for 10 marks, observe here, for 10 marks, you should be able to find out D value. D is DS plus DK. So you have to calculate DSI, DSE, add these two, you will get DS. Then separately calculate DK. Separately, I want DS and DK values for a given indeterminate structure. It means you are having 10 marks, 8 to 10 marks for indeterminate structure also, even though the subject is analysis of determinate structures. Even though it is like that, but we have to understand the level of indeterminacy, order of indeterminacy of a indeterminate structure. You don't have to analyze it because that comes in the next semester. In this semester, you should be able to tell what are the values of DS and DK values. DS is the sum of DSI plus DSE. So like this, you have to calculate these numbers, which I will cover in the next forthcoming classes. So with this, I will conclude here. Only 35 students are there. I can say 34 students are there, including myself. It is 35. So I'll be reporting this one. Everybody should attend the classes so that you will get the notes, whatever you are asking. The other day, one student was asking, I want this, I want that, I want. If you are not there in the class, you will not get anything. You try to understand this one. With this one, I will conclude the class. Any questions are there? You can ask here. Any questions are there here? If you want, I'll show you one video also here. I can open it. Video lecture will come. Not mine. Mine are getting recorded now. Whatever I am doing, this is getting recorded. But other staff of other institutions, I have got some YouTube also. That also I will share. You can refer that also. You can refer my video also. It will be uploaded in YouTube later on. These are not once I start solving complicated examples, all those will be uploaded. So any questions here regarding today's class? Anybody has got any doubt?